Good morning, best ball sickos. We are into July, finally. July 9th, we are rolling through the dog days of fantasy football summer. Going to be here for the rest of best ball summer here as we are slowly climbing our way to 150 best ball mania drafts. Good morning and appreciate you jumping in with me today. Let's be sure to smash the like button, share the video, and follow the Fantasy Six Pack Network here on YouTube, on Facebook, the X, Twitter, and all of our other socials. Again, appreciate you guys jumping in with me this morning. As usual, we're going to be going over some ADP risers and fallers, looking at ADP a la carte, looking at the top and bottom guys in the last 7 days, the top risers and the top fallers in the last 7 days, in the last week. Next week, we will look at a month-long review. We've done a couple of shows now with the last 7 days, so we'll do a switch over to the last 30 days next week, a week from today. Let's get the board up here. Oh, looks like you can see me getting ahead of myself this morning. Already had my slide, digging in there, peeking around the corner. Got best ball ADP breakfast. Start your day with bacon, eggs, and the rise and fall of ADP, as any American should. Speaking of which, hopefully you guys all had a good 4th of July last week. Big holiday weekend. Not a lot of rising and falling. I expected with a 4-day weekend, maybe get a little more action, maybe a little bit more movement, but all you sickos were out there touching grass, so I love it. Risers menu. Demario Douglas still on top from last week. He was the top riser last week, continues to be the top riser the past 14 days. Demarcus Robinson, Noah Fant, Brian Robinson Jr., Elijah Mitchell, Brandin Cooks, Rashee Rice, Chubba Hubbard, Jalen Polk, another Patriots receiver, Troy Franklin, Juwan Johnson getting a nice little bump despite the injury. People starting to realize he's not going to be out as long as the public might believe. And then Geno Smith to round out that top 12 there. So let's look at some highlights. First up, we've got Demarcus Robinson. A late round dart throw, that's going to be in a good offense. A good handcuff or stacking opportunity with your Rams. If you were able to get Puka early, you want to back him up with Demarcus Robinson, or if you just want a late round stacking opportunity with Stafford and Demarcus Robinson. They had a nice little connection, with him being the third wide receiver down the stretch last year, even with Cooper Kupp healthy. If you are not buying a lot of Cooper Kupp, I think that means that you should be buying a lot more Demarcus Robinson. If you are in the belief that this is going to be all Puka, I think there's going to be plenty of targets to go around in this offense, and you're going to see a mirroring of production from Kupp and from Puka, and you're going to have Demarcus Robinson filling in nicely. So you see a nice little hike of his ADP. Was as low as 211, and now he's up to 173. So a continual climber as we get more casuals in our lobbies. Oh, hey, I remember him down the stretch last year. Yeah, he was really solid. And oh, wait, look, the Rams haven't added anybody. They haven't, brought in any real competition for him. So good situation for Robinson this year. Not a guy that's going to give you more than maybe 2 or 3 spike weeks, but I think at that draft capital at pick 173, again, a nice Rams stacking opportunity. Noah Fant here, again, a big climber across the drafting season, starting off at pick 200, right there like in the last round, second to last round, and now again being brought up all the way to 175. I think when you're just getting down to the dumpster diving of tight end at the back end of the draft, you're like, hey, again, I know Noah Fant's name, popular guy, and oh, hey, look, doesn't have a lot of competition for snaps. Going to be on the field a lot for the Seahawks. Is he going to be a very valuable player? No, but again, someone that might be able to get you 1, 2, 3 spike weeks. I don't think you want to get Noah Fant on your team, as your second tight end. I think, this is a situation where you're just getting him as your third. Maybe that gave you another stacking opportunity. And, maybe you could do him with your second if you have like a really elite tight end, like a Trey McBride or an Andrews. I feel like I've done that before, but you don't feel good about it, because you're just relying you're all in on that one guy, and you went great and late, which again, I don't mind, but I think I would prefer Noah Fant in 3 tight end builds. Gives me a little bit more diversity. Brian Robinson Jr. You see the indecision here in the chart by drafters, as low as 112 and as high as 106. So really not a lot of big movement going on for Brian Robinson, but you are seeing opportunities where he is falling in your drafts. Across the past week, you can see there's been a very consistent rise. So I'm interested to see how that continues. I'm also expecting Austin Eckler's cost to increase. I feel like he's still the guy that I want out of that backfield because come the end of the season, Brian Robinson may have more touchdowns, but I think overall Eckler will have still more points and more total touches. So touchdowns very important in half-point PPR, but in general, I'm chasing the volume, and Austin Eckler is my most exposed player, period. He is the guy at the very top of the chart, him and Chubba Hubbard, and then a whole slew of receivers. I bring that up because we are going to talk about Chubba Hubbard as well. But with Brian Robinson and Eckler, I think it's going to be a pretty even split. They're going to need the run game to protect Daniels, to really set things up for the play calling, to be misleading to opposing defenses, etc. So very, very much a rock solid role for Brian Robinson this year. I do think he's a great value at RB30, and I will continue to buy him despite any. Again, it's not a major cost increase. It's just back and forth, back and forth. This guy, Brandin Cooks, we are all doing our part. He is, I want to say, my third most exposed player. And yeah, you've seen a big climb from him from 141 all the way up to 117 now. He is getting that juice. I think that we could get a little bit of a dip opportunity if the Dallas Cowboys were to go out and get, like a Michael Thomas, which they've been rumored to. They've been connected to him. But I feel like it's July 9th, right? Like Michael Thomas was available June 1st. I feel like if anyone was really gung-ho about him, they would have done it already. And it feels like that move for him or for Michael Thomas, anywhere he lands, it's going to be contingent on something maybe happening at camp. I think that's when he's going to get on a squad. And so because of that, I feel less inclined that he's going to get on the Cowboys. Again, if he does, it'll give Cooks a nice little dip opportunity. But he has been underpriced all best ball season. So I will continue to buy his rise. But again, he is someone that has fallen. I see sometimes people avoiding like Dak Prescott, and I don't know if that has anything to do with it because he's a big faller. Brandin Cooks has been a big riser, so kind of opposite directions there. And they are, again, also like a nice ADP pairing for stacking opportunities, especially when Dak is falling. So we'll continue to buy the rise in Brandin Cooks. He is becoming more appropriately priced, as I said. Chubba Hubbard, woo, look at that dive. Look at that dive. As high as 130, as low as 174. Gotta love that. He is at 130 right now, or I'm sorry, 164 right now. Getting a little OJ. Got the OJ with the Cuba Vice. Love it. Prefer whiskey with my Cuba Vice, but we digress. Chubba Hubbard, again, a big name that I've been grabbing all off season. I understand Jonathan Brooks is there. Jonathan Brooks will be a pain in my side come weeks 9, 10, 11, 12. But where I'm getting Chubba Hubbard, I'm at least getting half of a season of reliable touches, snap share, touchdown opportunities. I do believe the Panthers offense will propel forward. I do think all levels are going to rise there for the offense. You're going to have a better running game with Chubba, with the addition of Brooks down the stretch. Deontay Johnson, Adam Thielen going to make a nice pairing. I'm really big on Jatavian Sanders, and Bryce Young just taking that big step forward, I think is going to be huge for him. Bringing in Canales from Tampa Bay, that's huge. You saw the success that he had with Baker Mayfield. That has to excite you with the potential talent that Bryce Young has. I mean, I know that Bryce Young had a bad rookie season, but the Panthers are going to improve because he will improve. This is a guy who was a first overall pick. He didn't just get to the NFL, and now he's going to tank and plummet and just be a bust. He's going to get better, and the offense will be better as well. And again, rising all the levels there. I'm going to take all the value that I can. Chubba Hubbard. I do have a lot of Adam Thielen. Unapologetically, again, a very good value. I know that people want to hate on him because of his age, but that age is a number. So is snap shares. So are targets, and he is going to get those. And around the space that he's being drafted, it's hard to argue that other players in that space or at that ADP are going to outperform him. Quick wrap up of the risers menu. We've got Demario Douglas, Demarcus Robinson, Noah Fant, Brian Robinson, Elijah Mitchell, Cooks, Rashee Rice, Chubba Hubbard, Jalen Polk, Troy Franklin, Juwan Johnson, Geno Smith. The only other one that really stands out to me here is Juwan Johnson, just because he does have an injury. And the news is that he could be ready for week 1. So light bulb, what does that do? Hey, he should be ready by at least week 5. And I've got a really good tight end in the last round that's going to play the majority of the season healthy. He may not start the season healthy. He may miss. He may not even be on the field the first handful of games. But you know that because, hey, he's expected back at that time, you know, there's reasonable belief that he can be of use to you, again, weeks 5, 6, 7, 8 plus later. Rashee Rice still rising. It's still so interesting to me, that whole situation. All right, fallers menu. We've got a couple of Jets receivers, Malachi Corley, Mike Williams, Roman Wilson, Javon Baker, Ben Sinnott, Ricky Pearsall, Ray Davis. Wow, look at that rookie fall. We are no longer in June. You got to love it, right? Everybody hyping up the NFL draft, getting excited about these young players. Nope, not anymore. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 in the top 7. My goodness. Zay Jones, Isaiah Likely, Trey Benson, another rookie, Jalen Tolbert, and Bucky Irving. So let's dive into some of these highlights here. First up, we do have rookie Malachi Corley. You can see, again, kind of like the indecisiveness here in drafters in his chart. It's just kind of all over the place. And right now it's in a downward direction. Maybe it's because Aaron Rodgers is doing a little bit too much downward doggy in India, Tibet, Africa, wherever he is. Where in the world is Aaron Rodgers? Hanging out with Carmen Sandiego, apparently, doing ayahuasca. I don't know what it is, but his receivers, they're taking a hit. They're taking a hit of it because of it. And I don't know if that's actually the case, but Mike Williams and Malachi Corley, you would think that one level would rise and one would fall, but right now both falling. Very interesting situation there. I like grabbing Malachi Corley. I like the talent. I played college fantasy football for the first time last year. Malachi Corley was on my team, so I was like, hey, I know that guy. I was very excited come draft season. I said, hey, I know this guy before I usually know who the players are coming out of college. So good talent. I think he's in a good position. By de facto, the offense should be better. There should be more of a healthy diet for targets for a wide receiver 2, a tight end, etc. So I will actually buy this dip in Malachi Corley. I don't think it's like a huge discretion. Roman Wilson I've been buying a lot of, but oh my goodness, the public not feeling it. They are not feeling it right now. Got this high of 154, a low of 165, and he's on a pretty steady decline. Again, I'll buy the dip. I've been buying a lot of Roman Wilson. I think that the Steelers' offense is going to be better, whether they have Russell Wilson or Justin Fields under center. And they didn't go out shopping for another big receiver. You got George Pickens and then Roman Wilson. I'm very interested to see how this works. In the big board contest, I was very in on Pat Freiermuth. So I've kind of shifted from the big board to the Best Ball Mania, drafting more Wilson than Pat Freiermuth. And that's just because I think that Freiermuth had a bit of a cost adjustment. His cost rose from that time, from the big board to the Best Ball Mania draft or competition, excuse me. So, yeah, I've been grabbing a lot more Roman Wilson. Got a guy, Russell Wilson, throwing him the ball. Maybe they do a little, WW connection there, something like that. I'm sure the commentators will have a great time with it. But, yeah, he's a more affordable, like Ladd McConkey. Like what Ladd McConkey can do for the Chargers, Roman Wilson can do the same things for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and you're getting them at a much better value. Zay Jones continues to fall. A bit of a steady dive here. You see it's kind of like the Titanic. You see this this downward curve here. The top is the bow. It's coming up. I feel like it's getting ready to break in half. It's getting ready to shatter, just like the Titanic. And the butt end is going to come back up. because Zay Jones is actually a good, reliable red zone threat. And I'm not sure Marvin Harrison will be that guy for them. He could be their top receiver. I don't think so. I think it's Trey McBride, to be honest with you. And I think, but after Trey McBride, these guys are actually going to kind of all middle each other. I think that Marvin Harrison will be good, but not great. I don't see him getting 12 targets a game. I could see Marvin Harrison Jr. in like the 7 to 9 range. I see Trey McBride definitely in that range. I don't see any one of these players being like, oh, yeah, I'm getting 14, 15 targets a game in this Cardinals offense. I think they spread the ball around quite a bit. But the reason why I like Zay Jones is because of how late he's being drafted and how valuable he will be to them in the red zone. I think that he has the potential to lead this team in receiving touchdowns. That's a pretty hot take, but I think the potential is there for him. So another good target I like back there. And if I miss on him, I can always grab Michael Wilson. If I'm like trying to build some Arizona stacks, you can always get the extra value back there. They also have Greg Dortch. Again, like Greg Dortch, not a guy you're worried about is going to lead the team in receiving touchdowns, or at least the receivers. Michael Wilson, the same. I really think it's going to come down to Zay Jones and Trey McBride. Trey Benson, another Arizona Cardinal here. I think where you're getting the number 2 running back for the Cardinals is a very good spot. I love James Conner. I've always been banging the table, banging the drum for him, but going back every year expecting to be right when everyone is actually wrong, because everyone fades him all the time, talks down on him, says he's injury prone. Yeah, he's had those problems in the past, but he's actually been relatively healthy in the past couple of seasons. I still like him a lot, but I think this is the time to get the RB2 for the Cardinals. I think you are looking at a more split backfield. I still like Trey Benson more than like Blake Corum in best ball, because I believe that. I do believe it will be more of a split. And I think like Blake Corum, you're waiting for more of an injury type of situation or a domino to fall in the offense in total. If they did lose like a Demarcus Robinson or Cooper Kupp missed a game or two, or Puka missed a game or two, I think that would prop up more value for Corum. But I think Benson does have a very reliable week-to-week value, a lower floor for sure, but I think his ceiling is higher and a little bit more deceptive than people may want to believe or see. So absolutely buying the dip here for Trey Benson, 1,000%. Next up, we have Jalen Tolbert. Not that excited about Jalen Tolbert, because I am so excited about Brandin Cooks and his value. And Jalen Tolbert, just as bad a value if they were to add that next receiver. If they did add that Mike Thomas situation like I gave, that Tolbert would be the biggest loser there. Cooks may be a perceived loser in that signing, but he would still be very good, still have a very healthy snap share. Jalen Tolbert's the one that's like, treading water, right? Like he's barely keeping his breath, keeping his head above water. If they brought in any level of competition, this pick would not obliterate you, but you put you in a bad situation. It would be a wasted pick. So I am a little bit more cautious about drafting Jalen Tolbert. I would need, to have drafted Dak, naked, and just be kind of searching for something and landed with maybe like a Jalen Tolbert, which I probably still wouldn't do. Because, again, I could see them adding somebody. That wide receiver stable feels a little underwhelming. Maybe they get a random UFL guy. Maybe they get a Michael Thomas. Maybe they get a cut, player from another team, something like that. I just see that as a lot of potential still to happen. All right, and a recap of the fallers. We had, again, Malachi Corley. Mike Williams, I'm still not buying a lot of him. I have very little Mike Williams just because of the potential injury opportunities there. The guy has just been unable to stay healthy. Love the player, hate his health. Really love what he can do when he is active and on the field. Javon Baker, we saw the Demario Douglas popping up the board. Javon Baker still falling. We'll buy that dip. I see him, Jalen Polk, Demario Douglas all being middled. I don't see there being a lead guy there. I don't care who they said had the best spring, who has the best training camp. It's all going to come down to quarterback chemistry for me, and I don't know how anyone's going to have chemistry with either of those guys, even Drake May. So, yeah, I'll buy the dip on Baker. I just don't want to buy the most expensive Patriots receiver. If Baker is one of the cheaper ones, or I can get with my last pick, great. But there will be Kendrick Bourne in the last round. There will be Juju Smith-Schuster in the last round, and we've talked about this before. So again, just not buying the most expensive Patriots receiver. Ben Sinnott going to continue to fall. You're going to see him and Zach Ertz kind of meet maybe in like round 17, round 16, something like that. I think we are going to see a rise in Zach Ertz stock. Ricky Pearsall, everyone was gassing him up because there was the assumed trade opportunity or a belief that Ayuk was going to leave. He wasn't going to be a 49er anymore. Looks like he's probably going to stick around. So Ricky Pearsall stock taking a bit of a dip here. I would believe we would continue to see that dip. Ray Davis is interesting, minus 2.5 spots. Maybe people just getting a little bit more trustworthy of James Cook, believing like, hey, he could just come out and, be the lead guy again, take a huge share. He had a lot of touches obviously last year, but the year prior he didn't. So they really, really, I wouldn't say redshirted him, but they really managed him his rookie season. So I still think he's in line for a big bulk of the work, and maybe the public is also believing that as well. Isaiah Likely, we all love Isaiah Likely, what he can do for us when he's playing, but you need a huge domino to fall. That domino's name is Mark Andrews. So any fall for Isaiah Likely is perfectly fine, but I don't recommend drafting him without any Lamar stacks or skinny Baltimore stacks. And then Bucky Irving. Hey, somebody's got to be the number 2 behind Rachaad White. Rachaad White, not a big bouldering running back, not someone that is going to be able to play a physical game, week in and week out. So I think you need to have some sort of change of pace in there, and Bucky Irving can provide that. So interested to see what he can do. I have bought some dips of him, but again, not someone that I'm drafting with priority. If I get him at good value, if he's falling, I will definitely take a stab. I will not draft him at his ADP of 175. So I'd hope to get him somewhere probably like in the 184 to 190 space, somewhere in there. And that's very doable. Things like that happen all the time, especially with some of these rookies that are, getting again farther and farther away from the NFL draft. The more that we get of that, the more reliable or more accurate our rankings really are, or our ADP rather. Okay, it is time to pull up the Best Ball Mania 5 draft, the live draft portion of the episode, and we're waiting on 10 people. Ouch, meaning that we just missed one. So we might go back through some of the fallers here, because we're probably going to have a little bit of a wait. We do have one other brave soul in here that's ready to roll, ready to dive in. Maybe I'll get a good pick this time. I'm not sure. We can take a look actually at some of my exposures, because I have Best Ball Overlay loaded up here. I have that extension. Let's get that up. We can zoom in on some of this and wait for this bad boy to get filled up. Let's see. Round 1. Let's take a peek. We've got 5% CMC, just to show you how little I've received the first and second overall pick. Just 12% there, as you'll see. 11% Tyreek Hill, so getting probably the third pick most often out of the top 3. 8% Jamar Chase, 5% Justin Jefferson, 17% Amon-Ra St. Brown. Yeah, every time I get 5, 6, 7, it's pretty much almost Amon-Ra every time. Bijan is kind of like that next guy in there. As you can see, like I've been getting a lot of 6, 7, 8, 17%, 9%. AJ Brown, 14%. I just think AJ Brown is still a lot better than Puka Nacua and Garrett Wilson. Garrett Wilson's a target hog, and maybe he could challenge AJ Brown in total production this year. But I just think at that ADP, getting that talent, I can get AJ Brown, first-round pick from last year, Devontae Adams, first-round pick from last year, and Cooper Kupp, all on the same team again, first-round pick from last year. If I go Travis Kelce in round 4, that's 4 first-round picks from last season, drafted through the first 4 rounds in Best Ball Mania 5. And that's not to say that they're all going to play up to like round 1 potential, but hey, we've seen it. They did it a season or 2 ago, so just something to keep in mind there, especially with AJ Brown. Like at that ADP, Puka Nacua, yeah, good younger player. Garrett Wilson, same thing. Jahmyr Gibbs, Marvin Harrison. You're getting more reliable production out of A.J. Brown, and he's still on one of the best offenses in the league. Puka Nacua, 5%. Garrett Wilson, 8%. Jahmyr Gibbs, dinky do. It's hard for me to draft Jahmyr Gibbs at this ADP when he has such stiff competition in David Montgomery. I agree. Jahmyr Gibbs should be the better running back this season. It's just that his upside is huge, massively challenged, hugely challenged by the presence of David Montgomery. I don't know how we're going to get a top 5 season out of Jahmyr Gibbs, or even top 10 seems very difficult. He's going to have to catch a ton of passes in that offense. We'll see. I will absolutely start taking more of him. It's just, man, not starting off with a receiver in this range feels really tough for me. And Jahmyr Gibbs, I don't trust as my hero running back. I can't draft Jahmyr Gibbs and then go 4 wide receivers straight, because I'm not going to like the pairings I'm going to have with him with running backs in rounds 6, 7, 8, 9 plus. It's going to be a very weak stable if that's the case. I got Joe Bond in here saying, hey, Justin, morning, sir. Jump in the draft if you can. We've got 8 more people to go. Marvin Harrison, 7%. Drake London, 4%. Had a lot of Drake London in the big board. I think that means I need to start getting a little bit more of him. Been a few times I've been able to get Drake London and Bijan, which is kind of funny why I'd only have 4% of them, because I've done that pretty often. Jonathan Taylor, I love that pick. I think that he should be a first-round pick this year, so great value getting him in round 2. Olave, 7%. Ayuk, 7%. Nico Collins, 3%. Honestly, I think he should be closer to my Jahmyr Gibbs exposure. I love Nico Collins, one of my big wins last year, but ton of competition. You've got Nico, you've got Tank Dell, you've got Stephon Diggs, you bring in Joe Mixon, you pay Dalton Schultz, you still have Dameon Pierce, and then you're going to have those roster fillers that are just going to come in and nag production like a Noah Brown. Like, he's going to steal some touches. Very hard for me to take Nico Collins at this ADP when you're seeing all of the mouths to feed there. Whoo! Devontae Adams, big round 2 pick, 26%. Big round 2 pick, Devontae Adams. Yeah, got a lot of him. Giving you guys is like the cheat code here. Like, I'm just like, hey, he's going to draft this guy. Let me draft him. Hey, he's going to draft this guy. Let me get him. Yeah, go ahead, do it. I'll just pivot on to my 1% of Jalen Waddle. Jalen Waddle, again, very tough for me in that offense. They're going to spread the ball around. He is a good receiver. I mean, they just paid him. They didn't pay him to be bad. They like the talent. I like the talent. But with Tyreek Hill there, that run game, the ups and downs, the rises and falls of Tua Tagovailoa, tough to trust at that ADP. I would much rather have Devontae Adams at this ADP right next to each other. He's going to have 50 more targets this season, 70 more targets. Like, he's going to well out snap and outplay Jalen Waddle's production. Same thing with Saquon Barkley in this range, 17%. Adams 26, Saquon 17, Jonathan Taylor 11. Like, those are my round 2 guys, as you can clearly see. Like, those are the guys that are getting snatched up there. Mike Evans, round 2, I don't hate. I would love to be able to get him in round 3. No Devon Achane. Again, very, very expensive. You look at the running backs here, you've got CMC, Bijan, Breece Hall, Jahmyr Gibbs. That's putting Gibbs at running back. What's that, 4? Running back 4? That's crazy. I would much rather have Taylor at that ADP. Barkley. Move Achane down. Kyren, same thing. Very expensive. An overreaction to last year. Derrick Henry, a lot more of him. He should be higher. I have to bet that he's going to be a round 1 pick. Got 14% of him. ETN, much higher cost last year, getting him a bigger discount after a great season. Yeah, I mean, a lot of these guys I would much rather have over Gibbs and Achane and Kyren. Josh Jacobs, I've been slowing down a little bit. I was getting a lot of him out of the gate. James Cook, Joe Mixon. Get back to the full board here. Malik Neighbors only 5%. Devonta Smith, that feels about right for me. I'm actually surprised I have 12% DJ Moore. That must be very much his earlier ADP, because I've been passing up on him quite a bit. So that was interesting to me. DJ Moore, Cooper Kupp, 21% Cooper Kupp. A lot of Cooper Kupp. Love him at that value. Again, a guy who was a round one pick last year. Yeah, he was hurt, but he came back. He'll be more healthy. He'll be better. 11% Stephon Diggs. I'm not taking a lot of Tank Dell, and I'm not taking a lot of Nico, so I'm falling kind of into the middle for Stephon Diggs and hoping that he can actually emerge as the number one receiver there. I know that might be difficult with the competition, but this feels like an appropriately priced Houston receiver. You'll see Tank Dell just a few spots away, right? That doesn't feel right to me. Like Stephon Diggs, established talent. They went out and got him. They didn't do that for no reason. I'm not saying that Tank Dell won't outshine Stephon Diggs every single week. It can definitely happen. But I think more consistently across the entirety of the season, Stephon Diggs will be the better player, the better asset, better production. Michael Pittman, another guy that I just absolutely love in this range, and that's because he is the wide receiver one on his team. Stephon Diggs and Tank Dell, they're on the same team. They're battling for targets and an offense that probably also runs the ball a lot. So Michael Pittman also in an offense that's going to run the ball a lot, but he's the number one guy. So Michael Pittman still very underrated for me. Everyone is not on him or anti Michael Pittman because of Anthony Richardson. Anthony Richardson didn't make it through all of last season. Not sure if you watched any Joe Flacco tape last year, but the guy can still throw. And I'm not saying like that's what I need to happen for the best results. I think that Anthony Richardson could do exactly what the public is saying. He could come in and be this next generational QB and be this breakout star. Well, awesome, cool. I think that will still benefit Michael Pittman, who has always had a very healthy share of targets. Tank Dell, no thanks. Sam Laporta getting in on that elite tight end. I like Zay Flowers a lot, but in an offense that just isn't necessarily pass heavy in this range, it's tough for me to draft him over a Josh Allen, a Laporta, a Kelsey. Offenses that are going to score points. Those guys are number ones. Zay Flowers is a number one, but being a number one in Lamar Jackson's, being a number one wide receiver in Lamar Jackson's offense, I think is, not the same as saying like, hey, I'm Travis Kelsey. I can lead all tight ends in targets. Hey, I'm Sam Laporta. I can lead the league in potentially receiving touchdowns. So a little bit more upside with the guys around that ADP. T. Higgins, only 3%. I'm going to start getting a little bit more T. Higgins. I do like this cost. I just feel like, again, in this area, at least lately, I've been chasing ones. T. Higgins still very good. Opportunity should increase with the exit of Tyler Boyd out of Cincinnati. But again, when I'm looking at him or George Pickens, clearly like George Pickens a little bit more. Amari Cooper, the same. Christian Kirk, the same. Even Jalen Hurts and Josh Allen in the quarterbacks to follow, just like him a little bit more at that ADP. Looks like we're cooking here finally with some gas. We're waiting on 3 people and not 10 people, so that's very good. That's a pleasure. Would like to get started here. Travis Etienne, Isaiah Pacheco, just kind of splitting hairs there, 8 and 7%. Lamar Jackson at 11, Trey McBride at 14. I want to make sure I'm keeping this at about 15%. I had 15% Trey McBride last year with his late round ADP, and it served me well. I'm going back to the well again. I just feel like he's going to be the number one guy there. That's my gut instinct. I like Marvin Harrison Jr., but that cost way too expensive, and it's hard for me to again believe that Marvin Harrison Jr. will take a huge lion's share of the targets. I still think that's Trey McBride with how Kyler likes to pass, how he extends plays out of the pocket. I think that's more beneficial to Trey McBride. And we're waiting on the draft to start. Hallelujah. 1-5. They love giving me 5, 6, 7, 8. Let's see here if I am familiar with any of these sickos. Message man's familiar. Sick fart. A lot of badges in here. You're always going to get the badges in the early morning. Love that. Still haven't received my badge. It's a little heartbreaking. I've made enough money. It's not about how many drafts you enter. It's about how much money you make. I've made enough money. But I don't know what the win of a contest is considered, because it says you need to win, 6 contests. Well, I don't know if I've won 6 contests, like been in first place in 6 contests. But I'll tell you what, I advanced 38 teams, 38 out of 150 last year. I feel like that would be worth something. So yeah, I don't know what it is. I don't know. They're not hip with my my badge ability. CMC goes first. Let's get a different board up here. Let's get this board up so you guys can get a clear picture. Probably going to take a Amon-Ra. We'll see. Maybe Justin Jefferson just to be different. Just to spread out the exposure. It is impressive, Joe. It is impressive. It's 25%. There's only one previous winner that had more than me. That was Mr. Herzig. Justin's, we know what's up. We don't just ball, we best ball. I'm on the clock here, trying to get my screen working, so we'll just use it from the cell phone. Actually, no, we're not. We're just going to do it from here. Yeah, we'll go with Justin Jefferson. I mean, what's the whole point of getting an exposure overlay if you're not going to use it, right? We've got 17% of Amon-Ra. I mean, I still love him, but we'll get a little bit of Justin Jefferson. We'll get a little bit more diverse. Been getting a lot of Puka and Breece Hall here still, as you can see at the 9%. All right, let's get this board switched. There we go. There it is. All right. Amon-Ra, Bijan, Breece, A.J. Brown, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson. ADP on time this morning. No real big shifts here or surprises. Marvin Harrison at the turn. Yep. Again, very much in the prescription, in the morning diet. Nico Collins at 13. I feel it might be a little early, but that's okay. I've seen him go earlier. I saw someone take him in the first round, as a matter of fact. He has an ADP of 18, and he went at pick 13. That's a little rich. I would imagine that this character here, Zaylanars, 12 spot's going to definitely get some Houston stacking. I just don't know why you would take a Nico Collins over, even a Chris Olave is going to have a better target share, and I'm lower on Chris Olave. 7% drafted, same as Ayuk, but he's going to have a much better target share. That's for sure. He's just the guy there. Gibbs falling to 2-2. Like to see that. That's a nice little fall for him. Drake London at 2-3. Devonta Adams, Waddle, Brandon Ayuk. Let's see here. We've got Jefferson. Probably going to go with one of these running backs here. We'll go with Jonathan Taylor. We'll get a little bit more. I don't mind that. Let's see. Taylor has Broncos, Titans, Giants his last 3 weeks. Justin Jefferson, Chicago, Seattle, Green Bay. So we'll be looking out for some of those stacking opportunities for some late season correlation. So after London, went Olave, Adams, Jalen Waddle. Feel like that's a little early for Jalen Waddle as well. Brandon Ayuk, Jonathan Taylor, Devonta Smith, Deebo Samuel. Saquon Barkley, man, potentially about to fall to round 3. I don't think it'll happen. I think he'll go here in the next pick or two. It's probably right now to Beaston, because Dallas and Philly play each other week 17. That would be a good pick by him. And a very good fall for Barkley. Typically going at pick 20, where I grabbed Jonathan Taylor, and it's probably about to be auto-picked. Mike Evans, wow. I think Choco Taco, CMC, Saquon Barkley, hard to say no, right? I mean, yeah, there it is. I don't think. Wow. He went with Devon Achane. 3 RBs from the one spot. Hey, you got your red badge for a reason, but my goodness, you had such a good fall there from Barkley. I just don't see why you don't go with one of those receivers, Neighbors, Metcalf, Moore, Kupp. I don't think he's going to like what falls back to him. And I think these next 3 guys probably go receiver here. Neighbors. And I'm going to be in a bit of a sticky situation because I have a lot of Cooper Kupp. I would like to take somebody else. I don't want to take Derrick Henry here because he also has a week 14 bye. I don't want to lead off with my 2 top guys in week 14. I know that seems kind of snobbish, but sorry. We are going to take DJ Moore. We're going to take DJ Moore. Get a little bit of that week 15 correlation. Week 15. Move the needle. Yeah, that was a tough spot just because I have taken so much Cooper Kupp. I want to try to pivot off of that a little bit. Derrick Henry again, same bye week as Taylor. Diggs, same bye week as Taylor. Michael Pittman, I could have did the Indy stack there, but I've done that quite a few times, and I have 20% Michael Pittman, so I'm okay not doing that. Let's see here. After my pick of DJ Moore, we had Sam Laporta, Cooper Kupp, Stephon Diggs. Very much again on time ADP. No big surprises here. I think that's a little bit of a fall for Derrick Henry, who's been going at the top of this round or closer to the middle. Michael Pittman, Zay Flowers. I guess this guy takes Tank Dell. Pair him up with Nico Collins. Let's see what he does. 15, 14. Tank Dell, right on time. I don't think did he take Travis Etienne here? I don't think so. I think he probably takes like T. Higgins or Pickens. I don't like that start. I just don't have a lot of exposure to those players. Marvin Harrison, Nico, Tank. George Pickens, yeah, takes another receiver. Okay. So let's see. Josh Allen goes pick 38. I am thinking about another receiver here. I'm up in another 4 picks or so. Maybe Christian Kirk. I'd like that. I like some Kirky. I mean, Etienne and Pacheco are good values at this ADP as well. There goes Travis Kelce, Amari Cooper. I think we got a good shot. T. Higgins. All right. This guy takes Jalen. Nope. Doesn't take Jalen Hurts. Who does he take? Jalen Waddle. Oh, I might lose Kirk here. Dang. I think if I'm this guy with the Bijan Waddle Cup, I think I take Kirk here. No, it takes Trey McBride. Good pick. Christian Kirk falls. Pacheco goes. I like that. Let's go. Let's ride. Another wide receiver 1. So we got Jefferson, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk. I like that. I like that a lot. And of course, Johnny Taylor. Travis Etienne goes. Again, there's not been like a ton of surprises for me here. A lot of on-time picks, no big moves up the board. I think Taco starting off with the 3 running backs is probably the biggest surprise just from the one spot. Like right now, who's left? Keenan Allen, Jaden Reed, Calvin Ridley. You need to take Calvin Ridley, bro. You need to get him right now. Okay, Terry, not bad, but not amazing in this year's receiver class of what's available. Calvin Ridley. Draft Calvin Ridley. Do it. You're welcome, Choco Taco. Do it. Choco Taco. It should not take you this long to Keenan Allen. Come on, brother. Unreal. Oh, get that waffle out of your butthole. Brother, come on. Unreal. Let's see. Jalen Hurts. I mean, one of these people have to take Calvin Ridley. Like, are you really going to let Calvin Ridley fall to me? Holy cow, it's going to happen. Oh, Hollywood Brown. Are we taking Hollywood Brown? I didn't even see Hollywood Brown there. Oh, tough. I think we're going to take Calvin Ridley and piss some people off. That's what we're going to do. I have a lot more Calvin Ridley than I do Hollywood Brown. I just feel like I've been getting off the Chiefs a little bit more recently. I think last week we did the Mahomes and Kelsey stack, but since then I haven't drafted a lot of Kansas City. You'll see 8% Mahomes, 17% Hollywood Brown. I mean, that's a fair amount, but definitely been slowing it down. Godwin, Mahomes goes after. Wow, Hollywood Brown, little fall. 51 is his ADP. He's about to fall 7 picks. The riser. Someone's cost that's been going up. Chris Godwin, that feels, is that rich? No, 4 picks. Interesting. There goes Brown, 6 spots after ADP, followed exactly by Xavier Worthy. James Cook, that's just a great round 5 pick. I love James Cook this year. And, I don't like that start. Garrett Wilson, Jahmyr Gibbs, Zay Flowers, Josh Allen, James Cook. I like the fact that you have Week 17 correlation with the Bills and the Jets. But, man, Zay and Gibbs, those are missed picks for me. I feel like you could have did a lot better. Oh, excuse me. It is a 7 a.m. show after all. There are yawns involved. I mean, all these receivers here I would have much rather had over Gibbs. All of these guys, Pittman, or I guess it's the other way around. George Pickens I'd have over Zay, Allen, Kelsey, Cooper. I just like ones. I like ones. Anthony Richardson goes. That sick fart character in the 10 spot did draft Michael Pittman. So let's see. Rashad White. What am I looking at here? Is Deontay Johnson becoming? Deontay Johnson's becoming a 6th-round pick. It's like someone may have predicted that and then told everybody to draft him. I did my part to make him a round 6 pick. He will be a round 5 pick as we approach the kickoff of the NFL season. We'll do some more Kenneth Walker. Got 12% of him right at ADP. Don't mind that. Good late round stacking opportunities. Maybe with the Geno Smith or Noah Fant, guys we talked about here in the risers section. Yeah, I'm thinking maybe a receiver here. I'm liking this bunch that's left over. I would love if Deontay Johnson somehow fell to me at pick 77. I don't know if that's going to happen. I have a ton of him, 18%. No Brian Thomas. Maybe we need to get some Brian Thomas. There goes Brian Thomas to Beaston, 2 picks away. I don't think that we're going to do JSN and Kenneth Walker. I think we're looking at Deontay Johnson or Evan Ingram here. I think we're looking at one of those guys because we have Christian Kirk, so that'll open us up to some Trevor Lawrence stacking. Let's see. Deontay Johnson goes, so very easy pick here. I do like Alvin Kamara. I do like JSN. I think JSN really pops off this year. I got 8%. I think that's a fair amount for best ball. But Evan Ingram, a guy that finished as a top 2 or tight end last year, and getting him locked in with Christian Kirk. I really love that. Really love that a lot. Kirk and Ridley also have that nice Week 17 correlation. Throw Ingram into that mix as well. Good stuff. Let's take a look at Kenneth Walker. Oh, he's got Chicago Week 17. I didn't realize that. Sometimes that'll happen. I mean, I know that they play each other, but it's not why I made the pick. So good stuff. I like that. Justin Jefferson also in that mix there with Seattle. They have them Week 17. So Seattle big up against the NFC North to finish the season. JSN, Jamison Williams at pick 79. Nice little run there of running backs: Aaron Jones, Alvin Kamara, Ramondre Stevenson, Najee Harris, Kyler Murray there for Zaylanars. I know that he had drafted Marvin Harrison Jr., so that's a good pick. I don't love Marvin Harrison Jr., but backing him up with his quarterback, stacking him in, that's good. That's good. We do not have a quarterback yet. We are looking at Jonathan Taylor, Kenneth Walker, Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, Evan Ingram. Feeling good about this group. I am wide open here. I will take a running back or a receiver. I actually would kind of like Cortland Sutton to fall to me here. I just would really like that top 5 group for me. Plenty of guys I like after. I mean, Tyler Lockett kind of fits into that mix as well. But I don't want to bring Tyler Lockett up the board, and Cortland Sutton did just go. So I think we're going to be taking our 3rd running back here. Maybe a James Conner, maybe a Zach Moss. I only have 4% Zach Moss. I think I'd like to get a little bit more of him. Or you know what? Let's go bully tight end. Let's go Ferguson and Ingram. And now we can be done with tight end. I like that. We're getting Ferguson 7 picks after ADP. It may mean that we're drafting more Brandin Cooks. It may mean that we're not drafting more Brandin Cooks. But I do love Jake Ferguson. I love that value. The argument is just the same for him as it is Brandin Cooks, other than the caveat that we know that Dak Prescott loves to throw to tight ends. So you saw the volume last year not be as great for Brandin Cooks, but his touchdown percentage was there. That brought you home some good stats, some good numbers. But Ferguson was actually a little bit more involved on a regular basis than Cooks. So definitely something to like there. And it's like, cheap, more affordable bully tight end. All right, we are 2-4-2. Let's go. We could go Tony Pollard. Mostert is a very good value right here at pick 101. He's after ADP. I'm torn between Mostert, Lockett, and Pollard. Ty goes to the lowest percentage, so we'll go Tyler Lockett here. It's not a great 5th wide receiver, but we do have that correlation. We have the Chicago matchup. We have the Minnesota matchup. We obviously have Kenneth Walker. So I think we're okay doing that. I don't love it. I would have liked a stronger 5th receiver, but I think we're okay. Tyler Lockett, Brian Robinson Jr. going pick 100, up 6 spots from our talk earlier. Josh Palmer, pick 99. Dak Prescott, Jaden Daniels. Did Fuzzy Logic take Caleb Williams thinking he was going to block me? I don't think so. Caleb, Pollard, and Njoku, Dobbs, Mostert. Yeah. Again, no great surprises here. It's a bit underwhelming this morning. People chalking up this ADP. I've got Ferguson 7 picks after. Ridley 3 picks ahead. Most of my guys are right on time. Jonathan Taylor 4 picks after. Yeah, nothing too volatile. We're up in 6 picks. Maybe a running back. Maybe a little RB. Maybe Devin Singletary falls. I don't know if I want to take Tajay Spears as my 3, but it's doable. We do have Brandin Cooks coming up here. We could also just take, get him up to 30% exposure. We're not taking Brandin Cooks here. Spoiler. It's going to be a running back or Trevor Lawrence. That'll be the pick. If Singletary falls, actually, you know what? I think we really just want Trevor Lawrence right here. I think that's what we want. Dontavian Wicks, round 10. That is a big jump. That's pick 122 to pick 113. So that guy really wanted Wicks. He got some stacks. He does have Josh Jacobs. He does not have Jordan Love, but he does have Josh Jacobs. I am on the clock, and we are going to take Trevor Lawrence. Yeah, we're going to take Trevor Lawrence. Yep, all good. Okay. Let's see. I'm trying to think of another quarterback I might want. I have a lot of Will Levis. Will Levis, Geno Smith. Will Levis, Geno Smith. Maybe one of those guys in J.J. McCarthy, and we just completely punt to QB. We'll see. We'll see. Oh, no, that's not what we wanted to do. All right. Javonte Williams after Lawrence, Myers, Singletary, Mike Williams, JJ, Jerry, Jude, pick 121. Cracking into round 11 here. Brandin Cooks, is he falling? Wow. How? What? Where are we at? Yeah, he's falling. I got to take Brandin Cooks here if he falls. I mean, he's pick 117. If he's going to fall to 125, they're going to make me do it. They're going to make me take more Brandin Cooks. I can't believe it. I can't believe it. The guy that we're talking about, climb. No, he's fallen this morning. I love it. I absolutely love it. That really makes up for the Tyler Lockett pick. Like, that really gives us a strong stable of receivers. Again, Jefferson, Moore, Kirk, Ridley, Lockett, Cooks. Yeah, that's solid. That's solid. I'm very surprised. Very surprised. Ooh, maybe Gabe Davis will fall to us too. Yeah. Ooh, Jerome Ford may have been the pick there, but I do have 20% Jerome Ford. I don't think he'll make it back to me. One of, if not the most underpriced best ball player right now. We are not amazing at running back, but we're going to be okay. We're going to be okay. We've got Taylor. We've got Walker. We'll have some okay options on the way back around. I like Marshawn Lloyd. That could be a good stacking opportunity with our Bears and our Seattle and our Minnesota correlation opportunities. Ty Chandler, just the same. He works into that mix as well. Jaleel McLaughlin, that's my guy. Give me the T-shirt. Kamani Vidal. Chubba Hubbard, we've talked a lot about. Antonio Gibson's okay, not great. Maybe we can get him as number 4 or 5. Yeah, I mean, I'm okay with a lot of these guys back here. They're not sexy names, but they get the job done. There's no way Jerome Ford falls to me. Stop it. Just take him. Don't tease me. Don't tease me any more than this. Okay? We're all ready to pick 135. We're already 10 picks after his ADP. Jerome Ford is a player that should be going ahead of his ADP. Sick fart. Just don't. Zach Charbonnet. Come on, guys. One of these, like JBFC, D Rooter, Fuzzy Logic. One of these guys has to take him. There's no way. There's no way. I might take Rico Dowdle. I might take Gabe Davis. I don't know. There goes Jerome Ford. Only 12 picks after ADP. Psycho. I could take one of these receivers here and just be done with receiver. Have a really good, top 7 receivers. I might do it. We'll see. Goes Gabe Davis. Oh. Ooh, good neck crack there. Cole Kmet. Gosh. Let's go more Rico Dowdle. Let's go with some more Dallas stacks. We need a running back for sure. So I mean, no time like the present. Then goes Jahan Dotson, and our 6 receivers are really good. We don't need to overdo it. We can take another shot or two with some later round guys. When your worst receiver by round 13 is Brandin Cooks, that's a good situation. And plus, again, we got Dottle, we got Cooks, we got Ferguson, we got some Dallas exposure there. I like it. Doesn't mean we're taking Jalen Tolbert. That will not be the shot that we're taking. Sorry. Probably just going to go right back to RB here. Maybe Ty Chandler, who just goes off the board. Ouch. Yeah, we're going to have to go Jaleel McLaughlin. Let's just take some more Jaleel. 21%. A lot of Jaleel McLaughlin I have drafted. A lot of Jaleel. Shares the same bye week as Taylor, but that's okay when he's your 4th guy. So I'm good with that. Yeah, it's not the strongest running back stable. It's definitely top loaded with Taylor and Walker. But again, I really, really like what we did with receiver and tight end here. And I think we're going to be able to get it to make it work for us with the quarterback as well. Adam Thielen at pick 150. 8 spots ahead of ADP. The church of Adam Thielen. Gotta love it. Demario Douglas goes. Demario Douglas was also ahead of ADP. Jermaine Burton just went. He went right at ADP. Very interesting. Very interesting. Mooney would be a big faller to grab right now. Quentin Johnston, not too big of a fall, but a fall nonetheless. I just saw you there, Mike. Sorry, buddy. About the last month or so. Yeah, usually I'm a night owl. You can come in every Tuesday morning, see me cutting up some oranges, talking some ADP. Appreciate you, Mike. Love you, brother. Hunter Henry, Quentin Johnston, 156. It's about a 7-pick fall there. Not very sexy names coming off the board here, fellas. Not very sexy names. Troy Franklin, another riser. Let's see what he did. Ooh, 157. His ADP is 171. That's some spicy Troy Franklin love. Oh, I hate these receivers. Zalenars, you messed up, brother. Zalenars? Come on, dude. Your receivers. Marvin Harrison, Nico Collins, Tank Dell, George Pickens, Jaden Reed. I was trying to finish reading that. Damn you. We'll go from the top. Jaden Reed, Jalen Polk, Quentin Johnston, Troy Franklin. That ain't it. That ain't it, brother. Try again. After this is over, load up another draft. Try again. That's not the way to do it. I'll look at his whole team at the end. We'll definitely review his team. I do not like those receivers. I think his running backs, I think I saw were okay, but no good. Do we take a discount RB here? Do we take a Kamani, Tyler Algier, Ray Davis? I don't know. I don't love some of these names here. I'm thinking, you know what? I just don't care. I'm just going to take Geno Smith, and it might be out of ADP, but I'm just going to see what shakes out from these players here at the top of the board, because I just don't love a ton of these guys. Like, yeah, I was thinking about Vidal, but I'm not just like in love with Vidal. Algier, Ray Davis. I don't need receivers. Wan'Dale Robinson, Demarcus Robinson. Don't need Baker. Don't need Rodgers really. So yeah, well, I'll just take Geno Smith, and we'll see what happens. It was 5 picks ahead of ADP. My next pick is 173. So I could have got him 4 picks after ADP. I'm okay with that. We'll see what shakes up here in this next handful of picks, and we'll take it from there. Yikes. They're trying to make it tough on me. 2-4-6-2. I could see this playing out 2-5-8-3 maybe. I'm not sure. Nah, we don't need a 3. We don't need a tight end. We're good there. I could do the Noah Fant stack, though. We could do that. We're not going to take a running back. I'll tell you that. We're going to do something different. Let's do... Screw it. Let's do Noah Fant. Let's get weird. Let's go all in with that Seattle stack. Seattle, Walker, Lockett, Fant. Okay. I mean, really, you should probably try to keep it to 3 guys, but I didn't really love any players in this range. Like, I like Demarcus Robinson, but we're really good at receiver. Like, we don't absolutely need a receiver right now. Bucky Irving, it felt like still kind of a reach. I know I'm only moving him up 2 ADP spots, but with him there and no other real options at running back, that's exactly how I felt. Like, I don't have options. I don't want to be forced to take Bucky Irving. this next pick, maybe somehow Herbert falls to us, Braylon Allen, Tyrone Tracy is fine. I need to get some more Roshan Johnson, Damian Pierce. Like any of those running backs are fine for our fifth guy. 3-5-7-3, 3-5-7-3, maybe. If we're taking a third QB, I think we do take JJ McCarthy just to give us a shot with a Jefferson pairing. He's our third guy, and it seems like in this draft, I could be wrong, but a lot of these teams are trying to soak up running backs and receivers. So like this team, Zalenars, I think did he just draft his first tight end? Yeah, he just drafted his first tight end, and it's Isaiah Likely. Like, it really bothers me sometimes. I see these people have badges. Like, is he just doing this like with like Underdog Tennis or something? Like, what the hell? Like, this is a bad team. I don't like that team. And Bo Nix in round 1, pick 181, round 16. Get out of here. Get out of here. But he was roommates. He was roommates with Troy Franklin. I'll take him 25 picks ahead of ADP. No, dude, stop. Why? Joe Mixon, Jalen Warren, Trey Benson, Blake Corum, Chase Brown. Wow. That team is bad. It's a bad team. All it's missing is Christian Watson. That's it. I think we'll go Braylon Allen here just to be a little bit different than Khalil Herbert, who did just go. So we'll take Braylon Allen there. Yeah, our running back stable is an amazing. Taylor, Walker, Dottle, McLaughlin, Allen. If anything, we probably should get 6. We should do 2-6-7-3. That might be the ticket. Because it's not an amazing group, but it's definitely a good top-heavy group with Taylor and Walker if they're healthy. So I'll take that. I still think Dowdle and McLaughlin have roles to play in their offenses that people are just not anticipating enough of. Like they're just completely disregarding them. I don't know if they're expecting a low shelf life or what, but I got to believe that the burst that both of those players bring to their offense and the lack of competition that they have, they're both going to be able to thrive this year. Let me take a look at my buys. 6, 7, 12, 5, 10, 7. You know what? Let's do Roshan. We're at 2-6-6-3. Is that where we're at? 2-6-6-3. 2-6-6-3. So we will do 2-6-7-3. That's what we're gonna do. I just really like the receivers that we have. They don't really have any conflicts for buys, so I feel pretty good. And we're gonna get the 7th for sure. We're not gonna do 3-6-6-3 or something like that. I don't hate 3-6-6-3, but I don't think it's necessarily optimal. Yeah, I feel good about that receiver group. Let's take a look at some receivers. See how we're going to round this out. Zay Jones, Dortch. Oh, man, Zay Jones and Dortch. That's really all I'm really looking at here that I would really want. 7% Zay Jones, 8% Jalen Tolbert. Definitely need to turn that down. Greg Dortch, 3%, OBJ, 8%, no Rondell Moore, no Jalen Hyatt, no Kendrick Bourne, 1% Elijah Mitchell, no Chase Claypool, 3% Malik Washington. Man, who do we just want to take a random shot on? Take a look at some Jags. Parker Washington, maybe? Hey, Parker Washington, that would be super random. Or what about Jake Bobo? Jake Bobo, that would be a name. But we've already drafted 4 Seahawks. That's the only thing. So I'm gonna go Parker Washington. You never know. You got to throw your darts. Couple of spike weeks. Nothing amazing there. Just wanted to do something a little bit different. In this last round, we had, before my pick, we had Samaje Perine, Juwan Johnson, Andre Losivas, OBJ, Tank Bigsby, Khalif Raymond. It seemed like, again, the running back and the receivers were really bled out in this one. So, yeah, even Jelani Woods is someone I see that doesn't get drafted a lot. Nelson Aguilar was drafted in this one. That's, again, not something you commonly see. So let's take a look at Zalenars. That was awful team. Is this your background, Seinfeld? I don't know what you're talking about. This is where I live. What do you mean? This is my home. Just because a popular television show copied it, what am I supposed to do about it? I've been living here 30 years. No, I'm just kidding. All right, Marvin Harrison. Again, we're just going to look at Zalenars because this was a really interesting team. Not badge worthy, I'll tell you that much. Marvin Harrison Jr., Nico Collins, Tank Dell, George Pickens, Jaden Reed, Jalen Poole, Quentin Johnston, Troy Franklin. Ick. His tight ends, Isaiah Likely, Mike Gesicki, Greg Dulcich. Ick. His quarterbacks, Kyler Murray. Okay, you did a good job pairing him up with Marvin Harrison Jr. Good job. But then you drafted Bo Nix, 25, 26 picks ahead of ADP in round 16. What are you thinking? What are you doing? Drink your orange juice. Take your vitamins. Have some bacon. Like the real stuff. Because this is turkey bacon right here. This is ridiculous. Chase Brown, Blake Corum, Trey Benson, Jalen Warren, Joe Mixon as running backs. Like, yeah, sure. I like Chase Brown. I like Trey Benson. But your stud, quote unquote, is Joe Mixon after you overdrafted Tank Dell, after you overdrafted Nico Collins. You couldn't even get CJ Stroud. What the heck? What the heck, pal? This is what happens, kids, when you don't eat your veggies. Okay? Go outside, touch grass, squeeze some orange juice. Okay? Come inside, watch the fantasy six-pack, open a six-pack, drink more orange juice, draft a best ball team, go to sleep, get up, do it all again. All right, we are going to head on out. Appreciate you guys riding with us this morning. Very fun draft. Very on point, very on time with all the ADP this morning. Not a lot of liberties taken with the running back and receiver positions. Definitely more so with QB and tight end. So very good squad. I guess we'll run through our entire team really quick before we went. I know we had Trevor Lawrence, Geno Smith. Running backs, we had Jonathan Taylor, and then Kenneth Walker, Rico Dottle. I'm just going by memory here. Jaleel McLaughlin, Braylon Allen, Roshan Johnson. I will sit here and say that my running backs are not amazing, but I really like Jaleel. I like Dottle in theory. And my top two guys are awesome. And Jonathan Taylor and Kenneth Walker, both guys easily have potential to clear 10 rushing touchdowns. So definitely like those two. Certainly more than Zalenar's top two running backs, that's for sure. Justin Jefferson, DJ Moore, Christian Kirk, Calvin Ridley, Tyler Lockett, Brandin Cooks, Parker Washington. Yeah, the Parker Washington pick is just taking our shot. We're just looking to the stands for that one. But again, you have to do something unique. You have to do something different. Evan Ingram, Jake Ferguson, Noah Fant. So very well covered if there was an injury for the Jaguars receiving room, whether it be a Kirk or even a running back. We would definitely get a little bit more help there from a potential Parker Washington, who is, a deep field threat. Like I said, Evan Ingram, Jake Ferguson, Noah Fant. So I really enjoyed it. I hope you guys did too. Take care, be well, be good. If you can't be good at it. We'll see you.